What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to our YouTube channel. Today I have a video talking about the most likely #1 pick in this year's draft in Cade Cunningham. Going to be asking the question, is he a generational talent? I bring up this question because a couple weeks ago I made a video talking about Jalen Green, asking the same question. I brought up that question just because, I wanted to hear what you guys had to say, hear your thoughts about Jalen Green, what makes him, a generational talent, or what separates him from some of the other players in this league. And I want to do that with Cade Cunningham and probably a few of the other, top 5 picks in this year's draft. And so if you're interested in seeing that kind of content, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. With that being said, let's get into the video. So when asking the question, is Cade Cunningham a generational talent? I think you first have to look at Cade Cunningham and his skill set, how it fits today's NBA, what are his strengths, what are his weaknesses, and how does his game really translate not only to today's NBA, but where the game is moving forward. Because obviously, you'd probably expect Cade to have, a long NBA career, and so how is that going to translate over time? And so obviously we all know Cade Cunningham and his game. He's a 6'8" point guard. He's built, very well for his position. He's tall, he's big, he's strong. He's a good athlete, not, the most explosive athlete, but a very good athlete for someone of his size. Plays the point guard position, has, the ability to facilitate an offense. We saw him at Oklahoma State answer kind of the one question really about his game heading into college, which was shooting. He shot the ball at 40% from 3. So, I think at the minimum, looking at his NBA career, he should, be at the minimum a capable NBA shooter. If not, someone who can, shoot 40% from 3 and be above league average from there. Like I said, he's a very mature point guard, knows how to facilitate the offense. At Oklahoma State, that team was not, built for someone with Cade's skill set. There was really no shooting on the floor. He didn't have, floor spacing or anything like that, and he was still able to, make his teammates better, get them in the right spots, and, was able to, help that team, I think, kind of overachieve in a sense. I think they, did better advancing to the Sweet 16 than many, people, predicted they, could do at the beginning of the year. He, obviously was a capable scorer in college, averaged 20 points a game, and so that's something that, normally translates to the NBA very well, especially for someone, with Cade's skill set who's going to have the ball in his hands a ton at the NBA level. And so I don't think that scoring is really ever going to be an issue for him. So who does Cade Cunningham compare to at the NBA level? Well, I think there's a couple players that come to mind when thinking about Cade. Now, Cade is a 6'8" point guard, and it seems to kind of be a trend moving forward in the NBA with these big guards who handle the ball a ton, have high usage rates, and just really getting height at that position as, NBA teams are trying to switch everything. And if you have, a 6'6" to 6'8" guard, you can really switch, 1 through 3, sometimes 1 through 4 in the NBA and not really, take much of a hit on those switches. And so couple players that come to mind, when, comparing Cade. I think, #1, the first player that comes to mind is Luka Doncic. Now, they are different in the sense that they're different, level of athlete. Cade is a much better athlete than Luka, and I think he possesses a much better skill set on the defensive side of the ball, or gives you much more upside on, that side. But offensively, a guard that, you can put the ball in his hands, you have him, really facilitate the offense, and have him be the, core decision maker for the team. Now, Luka scores the ball in a different sense than Cade. Luka is much more crafty, where Cade is, more of the type of player who's probably just gonna, overwhelm the defense with, size and athleticism. Luka, like I said, is much more crafty. Another player that, comes to mind a little bit is LaMelo Ball, just in terms of, playmaking and passing the ball, and someone who I think really does want to make his teammates better. I think Cade compares, a little bit to LaMelo in that sense. They're also both, 6'7", 6'8" guards, and so another big guard. And then, I guess in a sense, someone that he also compares to is someone like James Harden. Harden, was kind of a 6'5", 2 guard, now playing more of the 1 guard or point guard position. But another player who, I think he can fill that type of role. Now, maybe he's not the scorer that James Harden is. Maybe he's not quite the passer, but he fills that role. And will he ever get to that type of level where he's, a potential top 5 player in the league? I'm not sure. But I think that those are the type of roles you can see him play. Someone who's going to have the ball in his hands a ton, make plays for his teammates, and someone who's, honestly a threat to potentially get a triple-double, every night in the league. And, it wouldn't shock me if someday, he averages or threatens to average, a triple-double for a season. I think he's got that type of, potential to Cade, and I think that he'll have that type of role if he goes to Detroit, or if someone like Houston trades up. I think, with a team like that where they don't have a whole lot on the roster and everything's going to be run through him, I think he's got a great shot at, putting up stats early in his career. So does that make Cade Cunningham a generational talent? Well, I'm not really sure on that. Like I said, I think the league is heading, towards players like Cade in terms of big guards who can, switch everything on the defensive side of the ball, who are great rebounders, great playmakers for people their size. And I think that, like I said, the league is heading towards this, thing where they're going to put the ball in this one guy's hands and try have him make plays for everyone. And that's, what Cade does well. And I think, like I said, the league is heading towards that. And so I think we have, a couple players in the league like that now. Obviously, LeBron was the first, kind of point forward or whatever, or I guess Magic Johnson, whatever. But LeBron, starting in the 2000s, where it was a 6'8" kind of point guard in the league, running everything through him. Now we got players like Luka, LaMelo Ball's young, and we got someone like Josh Giddey coming in who's a great, playmaker, rebounder at his size at 6'8". And so I think this is something that's going to be much more common in the league moving forward. And I'm not sure, if that necessarily makes someone like Cade a generational talent if we're going to see more players like him. Now, I definitely think that Cade deserves to be the number 1 pick. He's got, a great maturity to his game. He's got great upside. I think he's got, all NBA type upside. But does he have the potential to be, a potential top 5 player in the league? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he's quite as good as someone like Luka or James Harden or someone like that. I think it would take a lot for him to hit that level. But, I guess time will tell. We'll see. But like I said, I think he definitely deserves to be the number 1 overall pick. Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. Let me know who you think he compares to. Do you think he's a generational talent? Do you think he should go number 1? Things like that. Leave those thoughts down in the comment section below. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button, and I'll talk to you guys later.